All right, Telly. So, just want to talk to you about this project that was just announced by the government of Jordan.
All right.
It's called Amra City. It's a massive modern project that's going to be designed to ease the pressure off Amman and Azilga. It's planned over 25 years. It's a huge, development, obviously, opportunity. And I just want to talk to you about it and see how the ConCreator, your machine, is going to be able to help this project and how beneficial would the ConCreator be for a project of this size.
Okay.
The project is actually going to be broken into phases.
Right.
Phase one alone will require 8 to 12 million cubic meter of concrete, which is about 15, on average 15 million cubic yard of concrete.
Okay.
How will the concreator be beneficial for a project of this size?
Well, I mean, the ConCreator was designed for massive projects like this. For one, it's going to be able to reduce the regulations you need as far as environmentally. Unlike a traditional batch plant, it's going to be a piece of heavy equipment.
Or
So it's going to be in a category of its own. So therefore, you're going to be able to come set it up in places that you normally wouldn't set up a batch plant. So you're going to be able to bring you, instead of searching for the concrete on the job, you're bringing everything closer to the project. So therefore, you're going to start your savings begin through the logistics of it. All your savings come from the logistics of it. You're talking probably 20 to 30% savings
okay,
based on just what you're talking about here by having a concreator because of the flexibility of this machine versus a batch plant.
okay.
And then the fact that it will boost the production, which would speed up the project. You said the project phase one was going to last how long?
Well, the full project is planned over 25 years.
Right.
The first phase may take about 2 to 3 years. That's the projections. Which obviously, just going off what you told me, it looks like Call Theater will actually help speed up things.
Yeah, I would think so because everything starts with the foundation.
True.
Every construction project is only behind because of certain things, but if your foundations go in quick enough, everything else will fall into place. So you could probably they may cut off 5 years of their total build time just because of this unit or these units that can be placed throughout the
Oh, yeah.
area. Yeah.
This is a very valid point. We talked about the need. Just in phase one, there is a possibility of 15 million cubic yard.
Right.
Let's just say that the cost for that is anywhere between 600 to 800 million dollars. With using a machine like the ConCreator, you'll easily save anywhere between 160 to 250 million dollars, which is a lot. The government can use this, money for other, ventures and whatnot. So this is
Right.
awesome. Okay, so the environmental impact.
Right.
Obviously, everything is going green nowadays.
Right.
Ellie. Um, and I know that the car creator is going to be zero emission.
Right.
Can you please, elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, we have a closed loop system, so it allows everything inside the machine to be is it stays within the machine until it reaches the discharge point, and then anything that's not made a product gets vacuumed or sucked back into the machine and recycled. So the only dust you really have is what you have coming off your front end loader tires or your trucks, which is harmless. And then your water, being water's clean water's a situation in the region. With our machine, we're not contaminating the water. We're not sitting there. You don't have the washout, so you don't have the slurry pond. So that's a huge environmental benefit because with our machine, you make the concrete. You don't have to wash your trucks down, and you go straight into whatever you're loading the concrete into. So it really takes out that, and not just that, but it's an all electric system. So you're reducing fuel consumption in a lot of
Very
ways. You
good.
have a lot of your electric. We're about eight. I forgot what it is. If you're about 100 and excuse me, if you're $1.80 a yard on your energy with our machine, you'll be at right at $1 a yard for energy. So you have a nice reduction there because of the amount of energy you're saving. And then the noise, a traditional batch plant, you have noise pollution, and from the trucks and all the different old-fashioned mechanisms they have on the plant. So that's just a few things on how it's going to help the environmental.
Okay, awesome. So realistically speaking, the ConCreator is gonna help Jordan build the Amra City
Right,
cleaner,
right,
faster,
right.
and more like cost efficient.
Yeah, I would think that the concrete, because of the method of how it's blended through our auger system, it's going to give you a higher comprehensive strength, which will make it more resistance to earthquakes and last longer and stuff in certain regions, where
Right.
that may be a concern. So the life expectancy of the concrete may jump up to, 300 years rather than people tearing concrete out every 100 years.
Oh yeah. So the quality of the actual concrete that the
Exactly.
ConCreator is gonna produce is a lot better.
A lot better because unlike a mixer truck where you're batching it, you're dumping it in, you're relying on the drum to get everything consistent. We're doing it in real time as it's flowing through the system. There's no room for error, there's no guesswork. You know what you got,
Oh, yeah.
and you're going to get a higher comprehensive strength out of it
Awesome.
for
Oh,
sure, guaranteed.
could you please touch on the technology that's gonna be used to operate the ConCreator?
Yeah, so the technology we have, the machine doesn't have a software that runs it,
Mhm.
which is good. The machine is programmed to do everything the user wants to do. You'll be able to store up to 20 different mix designs in the machine at one time.
Mhm.
So as you finish one mix, you can easily select another one, and the machine will calibrate itself to that mix design. So that's one of the big features is the way it's calibrated. And then we have moisture sensors all through it, and we have different photo eyes that are really watching all the material in real time. And we have our own um, um, section in our program that's going to actually be called batch active, where it basically monitors the whole process as it's running. It's continuously checking the moisture content, the cement and the water ratio, all this stuff,
Great.
to the point to where you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
100% accuracy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I did want to touch on the quality point with Telly, um, because Amra is actually building stadiums, conference centers, large foundations, high rise commercial districts.
Right.
These developments, they really need and require consistent, high quality, precisely mixed concrete.
Right. Yeah.
And that you may not pay attention to it, but um, a good quality concrete better be used for such
Yeah.
high end developments.
Right. So we went back to the fundamentals of concrete.
Mhm.
That's the concrete industry has not purposely strayed away from the fundamentals of concrete, but just not knowing. And as a concrete finisher myself, I grew up as a concrete finisher.
Right.
And so when you're a concrete finisher, you're working with the material, so you know how it reacts. So I was able to go back to the fundamentals of concrete and build a machine that was designed to enhance that to the best ability possible, to make sure that we continue to have the strength, the workability, and the set time. That's the three most important features of concrete: the strength, the workability, and the set time. And so, with our machine, you have a consistent mix from the first rock that's placed to the last one.
Awesome. Um, very valid, very important point is the waste. So for a project of this size, there will be about, again, 6 to 800 million cubic yard of concrete that's going to be used, right? In the process of producing all this concrete, a typical concrete batch plants, the typical waste goes between what? There's waste in every single concrete batch.
Well, yeah, because every load that's hauled, they have to wash the truck down. And when they wash down, they have what's left in the chute, in the drum.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you added on a 400-yard pour, for example, if you just did that for the sake of keeping it simple, you would have, like a 4%. You're going to waste about 4%. And you're going to waste 10 yards of concrete in one day. That's $1,000,
Right.
for a load of concrete. So, or
That's awesome. So for a project of this size,
right,
if you're saving 4% on waste,
right.
you're going to be saving about anywhere between 5 to 700,000 cubic yard of concrete.
Yeah, it adds up quick, especially if you're doing this every day. And
If you do the math on this, this is a lot of money that
the
the
savings,
ConCreator,
the savings in itself will pay for the machine.
the saving itself will pay for the machine.
It will.
You heard that. The saving itself will pay
Right.
for the machine.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. This is amazing. And the ConCreator and its technology, and I guess the mechanism, the invention.
Right.
This is exclusive, by the way. Telly, he is the inventor of the concrete. There's nothing that's like it
Nope.
in the area.
Nothing in the world like it.
Awesome. So, Telly, the ConCreator, obviously is basically a mobile production, mobile concrete batch plant, right? That's
I would consider it more of a mobile concrete factory.
let's go. But that's actually
I really hate the term batch plant.
right. And there's a lot obviously behind that.
Yeah, there is.
And Telly's been in business for 30 years, and that's why we say that the ConCreator there's a lot of logistically, just design benefits to it to help concrete formers, if I understand that correctly. Now, you just told me off camera, you just told me about the 3D printer.
You're right. Yeah,
And
it's something we're working on. Yeah.
it's something that you will literally be able to hook up an adapter basically
Yeah.
to the machine,
Right.
and the machine will be able literally be building a building for you while you're at night.
Right.
Yeah, this is amazing. What about the fiber?
Yeah. Well, it's also designed to where we can incorporate a fiber feeder into the system to where there's never a need for a driver or anybody to manually dispense fiber into your trucks.
Mhm.
So it'll feed it in it more consistent, because with my experience dealing with fiber, it's great when it works like it's supposed to, as long as it breaks up in the load and everything's dispersed, equally. It has a lot of engineering benefits, but that's not always the case. It's never mixed thoroughly. Sometimes you have balls of fiber coming out that you have to take your concrete rake and break up and smash it out of existence. But with our machine, it's going to thoroughly feed the fiber, whether it's fiber pellets, steel fibers, or fiberglass. It doesn't matter. It's going to be able to feed it all. So that's stuff that we're actually working on right now, to where you, like you said, you do a foundation during the day, and then change your mix design, go to your 3D printable mix, which will be a grout mix, and you print your walls at night. And
Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Well, Telly, could you just share with us how durable the ConCreator is? I mean, I've seen how thick the metal that we're using to build it. And obviously everything is high end, high quality. I mean,
you're right. Yeah, we took into consideration that people may not treat this machine when they move it around quite like we would. So we wanted to build it strong enough, all out of AR 400 material, something to where if you happen to drop it, you're not going to bend the frame or nothing, know. And I mean, of course you don't want that to happen, but we have to think from the standpoint of what if. So we designed the machine to be built with the same infrastructure a big ready mix plant has, but in a small, flexible
Wow.
way. So yeah.
Okay, a machine like the ConCreator, obviously, it's going to be super beneficial for a project like Amra, a project of this size. But from a long-term national impact, to have this machine in Jordan, right? It looks like it's gonna modernize the entire construction industry there, right?
Right.
Because I remember you saying since 1950, there's really nothing happened to the actual, you know, I guess the process of producing concrete,
Right. You're right.
and then there's the ConCreator.
Right.
Now, is there any points that you want to add on that?
Well, it goes further back than that. From 1913, there was never really, that's when the first batch plant was invented. And then in 1950, they started making some advancements and then started, coming out. In 1966, they had their first portable batch plant.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which it's really nothing different. It's still the same. If you look at it, from then to now, it's all the same. It's just they kind of, make things a little bigger, or, whatever. They do incorporate some, technology now, but it's still way outdated. You're still 30 years behind. So what Cementco has done is figured out a way to bring the concrete industry up to speed by 30 years, and introducing technology and a method that's never been discovered, because it takes people that's in a real life situation to figure out a solution.
Where?
And I'm not an equipment manufacturer, I'm a concrete guy.
Well,
So
yes, that's just truly amazing. I mean, a machine like this would truly reduce the national infrastructure costs.
yeah.
It will also build a cleaner and more efficient urban expansion model.
Right. Faster
faster, accelerate future
and
projects.
stronger.
And Jordan nowadays it's in this phase to where obviously this project, there's going to be a lot more that's coming. A project of this size, I mean, how many machines do you think? And this, by the way, this is just first phase one. How many machines do you think?
I guess it would all depend on your timeline. If you really think about, you take it, one machine could, easily do 60,000 yards a year. So you take it and you put it on your timeline. I'm thinking probably maybe 20 or 30 units in that region right now to get started would boost the production up enough to where it would accelerate everybody's desire to want to go spend to buy more machines, because they're going to see that their scope of work is going to continuously be completed faster.
The cost of each machine, or probably the cost for buying all of these machines, is what they would end up saving from waste.
Right. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, waste and the labor, that you're going to eliminate.
Right.
And it's allowing you to do more with the people you have. You're not really hurting people who need to work. You're just eliminating what you need. But what I found was interesting too, this machine has more benefits to it than it has moving parts. A concrete ready mix batch plant has more moving parts than benefits.
True. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Well, this is truly amazing. I hope that we are able to get the point across, and the machine will be ready. Tell us when the machine will be ready.
Yeah, December the 15th through the 18th. If you don't believe it, come see it for yourself.
Let's go.